The following is a curated transcript of audio logs recovered from the personal equipment of nature's sound recordist, Alex Vance. In the autumn of 2023, Alex undertook a solo expedition deep into the Sierra Nevada mountain range to capture what he termed the perfect silence. He returned a week later, not with pristine soundscapes, but with a series of recordings that document a harrowing ordeal. He has since retired from his profession and refuses to enter any wilderness area. At his request, these logs have been compiled to serve as a warning. What you are about to read is what he heard when he was alone. Let's begin the story. Get comfortable and listen closely. Audio log 01. Date 10/12/23. Time 16:30. Okay, log 1. Alex Vance. Location, well, let's call it Lake of the Lone Peak for posterity. GPS coordinates are logged separately. I'm about 8 miles off the nearest marked trail, nestled in a granite bowl at roughly 9,500 feet. The air up here is just different. Thin, but so clean it almost scours your lungs. This is it. This is the spot. I've spent the last 6 hours hiking in, and every step was worth it. Before me, the lake is a sheet of sapphire glass reflecting the jagged, iron-gray peaks that claw at the sky. Behind me, a thick stand of lodgepole pines and firs forms a dark, formidable wall. The setup is complete. The Schoeps ORTF stereo array is positioned near the lake shore, aimed at the vast emptiness between the peaks, ready to capture the subtle sweep of the wind. My parabolic dish is pointed toward the tree line, hoping to isolate the call of a great horned owl or the distant yips of a coyote pack. Everything is running through the multi-channel recorder. The goal for this trip is simple, yet profoundly difficult: to capture a true, untainted recording of absolute wilderness. The absence of sound is as important as the sound itself. The space between the notes, that's where the magic is. Most people think silence is silence. They're wrong. There's a texture to it, a weight. The city has its low hum, the suburbs, their distant traffic, but out here, this is the sound of the planet breathing. I've spent a decade chasing this, from the Amazon rainforest to the Arctic tundra. But the Sierras, they hold a special kind of quiet, a deep, ancient quiet. My gear is top of the line, my patience is infinite, and for the next 5 days, this cathedral of rock and sky is all mine. Okay. Just one last bit of business before I go completely dark. Need to avoid any potential electronic interference with the recordings. Hey, Sarah. Alex! Thank God, I was starting to worry. It sounds like you're calling from the moon. Close enough. I'm at the site. It's perfect. You wouldn't believe the view. I can imagine. Just be careful out there, okay? All by yourself. Always am. It's safer out here than crossing a street in LA. I'll be off the grid starting now. I'll call you the second I'm back at the trailhead. 5 days tops. Okay, 5 days. Don't go wrestling any bears to get the perfect roar. The static swelled, eating her words. Love you. Love you too. But the line was already a hiss of empty space. I killed the power, the phone's dying beep, the last piece of the modern world I'd hear. The silence that rushed in to replace it felt heavier, more profound. Audio log 02. Date 10/12/23. Time 23:15. First night. The recordings are sublime. I've been monitoring the live feed through my headphones for hours. The clarity is astonishing. I've captured the delicate whisper of wind funneling through the granite pass, the low, mournful call of a lone owl, and about an hour ago, a family of coyotes singing their chaotic anthem to the moon from a far-off ridge. The fidelity is incredible. I can practically hear the space between each animal. But it's the silence that's truly unnerving. In the lulls, when the wind dies and the fauna settles, the quiet is absolute. It's so pure, it creates a pressure in my eardrums. It's a physical presence, a black velvet blanket smothering the world. It's exactly what I came for, but it's so perfect. It's almost unsettling. You feel small, inconsequential, like you're a single, discordant note in a symphony of immense, silent power. I'm going to get some sleep. The real work begins tomorrow. Audio log 03. Date 10/13/23. Time 22:50. I've been reviewing the day's recordings and monitoring the live feed. The afternoon was productive, captured a beautiful sequence of a Clark's nutcracker. The evening has been strange. I can't shake this feeling. It started about an hour ago. This is a Stellar's Jay, unmistakable. I've recorded them 1,000 times, but this one came at 21:47. They're diurnal. They should be roosting, silent. It's not unheard of for a bird to be disturbed, to make a noise at night, but this was different. It was loud, clear, and perfectly articulated right near the parabolic mic. That's what first got my attention. But the real problem came when I isolated the audio. Listen to this. The waveform is a perfect duplicate, not just similar, identical, down to the microsecond. The exact same frequency modulation, the same faint atmospheric crackle behind it. It's like a sound file being played on a loop. I know what a Stellar's Jay sounds like when it calls multiple times. There are variations, a slight change in pitch, in length, in the rasp of its throat. This had none. It was a sterile, flawless copy. My first thought was an echo, but the acoustics here don't work that way. It would be distorted, delayed, fainter. This was as crisp and present as the first call. It's wrong. It's just technically wrong. Audio log 04, date 10/13/23. Time 23:55. It's happened again. Something bigger this time. The coyote pack from last night started up again, from the same general direction. I had the gain on my recorder cranked, pulling in the sound. It was a beautiful, wild chorus of yips, howls, and yaps, the sound of pure, untamed nature. At least that's what I thought. I let it record for about 5 minutes. Then I rewound the tape to check the levels. Listen to this. This is from about a minute later in the recording. It's the same thing as the bird call, but on a massive, complex scale. A perfect 10-second chunk of audio repeated flawlessly 4 times in the 5-minute recording. A dozen animals, all howling and yipping with the exact same cadence, the exact same overlapping sounds, the exact same everything, over and over. That's not just improbable, it's impossible. No pack of living animals could ever replicate a sound with that level of sterile precision. It's like someone took a pristine sample of a coyote pack and is just pressing play out there in the dark. My mind is racing, trying to find a logical anchor. Could there be another person out here? A biologist using audio lures for research? A prankster with a high-end sound system? It seems insane. The effort, the cost, the sheer malice of it. To hike this far just to mess with someone? I spent most of the evening scanning the ridges with my binoculars until the light failed. I saw nothing. No flicker of a headlamp, no glint of equipment, no wisp of smoke from a rival campfire. There's nothing out there, just rock and trees and that impossible repeating sound. The isolation I craved so much an hour ago now feels different. It's not peaceful anymore. It feels thin, like a veil, and something is on the other side, pulling at the threads. Audio log 05, date 10/14/23, time 21:20. The crackle of the campfire is the only sound. Alex's voice is tight, strained. I didn't sleep well. Every gust of wind, every snap of a twig had me sitting bolt upright, straining to listen. I spent all day today in a state of high alert. I told myself it was a researcher. It had to be. Some clandestine project using audio playback. It was the only explanation that allowed me to function. Tonight, I was determined to prove it. I set up a third microphone, a highly directional shotgun mic, pointed toward the area where the sounds originated. I was going to catch them in the act. Then, an hour ago, I was sitting by the fire, monitoring the feed, when the shotgun mic picked something up. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't a loop. It was the distinct, soft, wet sound of a human cough. Distant, maybe 100 yards into the trees, but absolutely, undeniably human. My blood ran cold. I froze. Every muscle tensed. I held my breath, listening with an intensity that hurt. Silence. Nothing for 10 minutes. Then, from the same direction, a single, sharp whistle. The kind you'd use to get someone's attention. There's someone out there. There has to be. I grabbed my most powerful flashlight and swept the beam across the tree line, shouting, "Hello? Is anyone out there? I know you're there." Only the wind answered. The silence that followed was mocking, profound. The feeling of being watched is overwhelming now. This isn't a researcher. A researcher would have answered. This is something else. Audio log 06, date 10/15/23, time 1400. Sound of labored breathing, footsteps on pine needles and loose rock. Alex is speaking into his portable recorder while moving. This is insane. I've spent the entire day searching. After the cough and whistle last night, I couldn't just sit here. I had to find them. I started at dawn, making wide, concentric circles out from my camp, focusing on the area the sounds came from. I was looking for anything. A boot print, a broken branch, a fire ring, a discarded wrapper, anything to prove another human being was here. I found nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've covered miles of terrain. I'm a meticulous observer. It's part of my job. I can spot a vole's tunnel from 20 feet away. But out here, there is not a single solitary sign of another person. The ground is undisturbed. The pine needles lie in a perfect, untrodden blanket. No tracks but my own. The lack of evidence is 100 times more terrifying than if I'd found a camp. If I'd found a camp, I'd be dealing with a person. An asshole, maybe, but a person. But this is impossible. The sounds are real. I have them on tape. But the source has left no trace. Am I losing my mind? Is the isolation and altitude getting to me? Am I hallucinating these sounds? No, they are on the recorder. They are data. They are real. I'm heading back to camp. The sun is starting to dip behind the peaks. I don't want to be out here in the woods when it's dark anymore. Audio log 07, date 10/15/23, time 20:55. A sharp
choked off gasps. Alex is whispering, his voice trembling with fear and disbelief. Oh God, it knows I'm here. It's watching me. I was sitting inside my tent trying to eat a cold protein bar, too spooked to even have the fire going. I was listening to the live feed, just the wind, the terrible, deep silence. And then I heard it, through the headphones, picked up by the mic just outside. The zeep of a zipper. That's the zipper on my tent, the specific slightly sticky pull of the YKK zipper on my Big Agnes tent. I know that sound better than my own heartbeat, but I was inside the tent. I hadn't touched the zipper in an hour. The sound came from out there, in the darkness. From the edge of the woods. It was a perfect mimicry. A few minutes later, another sound. A tiny metallic click-clack sound. That's the power switch on my recording deck. It has a unique, loose-feeling double-click. The entity, whatever it is, it's not just making random sounds anymore. It's not just mimicking the wildlife. It's mimicking me. It's learning my environment. The paranoia is gone. This isn't in my head. This is real. And it's close. Audio log 008. Date 10.16.23. Time 02:13.
It's her. It has her voice. I was dozing off, headphones still on, listening to the abyss, and it came through the static. Not loud. Woven into the sound of the wind sighing through the pines. A whisper. But I heard it. I heard it as clearly as if she were standing right next to me.
He plays a short audio clip. There is the sound of wind, and underneath it, distorted and faint, a single whispered word.
Love. It was Sarah. It was her voice, from our call. The exact timbre, the exact inflection, but laced with that satellite phone static. I bolted upright, my heart slamming against my ribs. I scrambled for the sat phone, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped it. It was off. The battery was in my pack. No signal up here anyway. It's impossible. It's impossible, but I heard it. It's a psychological attack. It has to be. It found the one sound that would tear down every one of my defenses. It's using her to get to me. An hour has passed, and I'm just sitting here in the dark, frozen, waiting. Every gust of wind now sounds like it's about to speak her name.
Audio log 09. Date 10.16.23. Time 03:45.
It's toying with me now, using her voice as an instrument. 10 minutes ago, I heard it again. A whisper from the direction of the lake. Alex. Just my name. So soft. So full of concern. The way she says it when she thinks I'm working too hard. My instinct was to answer. To shout her name. I almost did. But I caught myself. It's a trick. It's a trap. Then, a few moments later, from the other side of the camp, from the deep woods, a sound that shattered me. Her laugh. Her soft, gentle laugh. The sound she makes when I tell a stupid joke. Hearing it out here, in this dead, cold darkness, it's a violation. It's an act of profound cruelty. It's trying to make me doubt what's real. It's trying to make me think I've gone insane, that I'm imagining it, that she's somehow here, in trouble, lost. I have to anchor myself. This log, this recorder is my only tether to reality. I am Alex Vance. I am a sound recordist. I am at a campsite in the High Sierras. It is the night of October 16th. What I am hearing is an unknown phenomenon that mimics sound. It is not Sarah. Sarah is safe, hundreds of miles away. It is not Sarah. I have to keep saying it. I have to document this. It's the only way I'll survive. The recorder is my proof. It's my sanity.
Audio log 10, date 10.17.23, time 01.20. Alex sounds exhausted, his voice a hoarse whisper. It's learning. Dear God, it's learning from me. Last night, I couldn't sleep. I kept the recorder running, and I talked to it, to myself. I recorded a log entry, just a whisper, asking questions into the microphone. What are you? What do you want? And a few minutes ago, it gave me an answer. It played my own voice back to me. He played the clip, the sound of crickets, then a faint, perfect mimicry of his own whisper from the night before. What was that sound? It was my voice, my terrified whisper from 2 nights ago when I first heard the cough. It echoed back at me from the dark woods, flawless. It recorded me, and it's using my fear against me. It's dissecting my language, my reactions. It's not just a mimic anymore. It's a student of terror. It knows what phrases I use when I'm scared. It knows the sound of my own rising panic. It's trying to lure me out. It's more active now. It started by mimicking the sound of a fawn in distress, a pitiful bleating cry coming from a dense thicket about 50 yards away. The sound was designed to trigger a rescue instinct. I stayed put. Then it tried something more insidious. It used my own voice. Help! I need help. It sounded like me, disoriented, hurt, as if I'd wandered from my tent and gotten lost. It wants me to run towards the sound of my own voice. The psychology of it is staggering. But the worst is when it uses Sarah, her voice crying softly, always from deeper in the forest, always just far enough away that I'd have to leave the relative safety of my tent and the dying firelight to investigate. It's a predator. I'm sure of it now. Audio log 11, date 10.17.23, time 04.00. Alex's voice is a rapid, breathless torrent of words. A terrifying clarity has settled over him. I have a theory. I think I know what this thing is. It's a predator, but not one that science has ever conceived of. It doesn't hunt by sight in the dark. It doesn't hunt by smell. It's an auditory hunter, an echo eater, a Sierra mimic. Think of an anglerfish dangling a lure of light in the deep ocean to attract its prey. This thing, it dangles lures of sound in the deep silence. It learns the sounds of its territory, the birds, the coyotes. It uses them as camouflage. Then, when a new sound enters its environment, a more complex sound, an intelligent sound, it focuses on that. It learns its prey. It mimics them to create confusion, to inspire curiosity, to provoke an emotional response. It uses the sound of a loved one to create distress, to pull you out into the dark. It wants you to investigate the impossible noise. It wants you to run towards the cry for help. It lures you into a vulnerable position. And then what? My God, my equipment, my high-end, ultra-sensitive microphones, my obsessive need to record everything. I haven't just been observing the wilderness. I've been broadcasting my existence to it. My voice, my gear, my phone call with Sarah. I've handed this thing an entire arsenal of psychological weapons. I am the loudest, most interesting, most emotionally resonant thing in this entire valley. I ain't come here to hunt for sound. I came here to be the bait.
Audio log 12, date 10/18/23, time 00:30. New strategy. If it hunts by sound, if it reacts to sound, then I will give it nothing. Absolute silence. The fire is out, just a bed of faintly glowing embers. I dismantled the external microphones. The recorder is still running, but only the internal mic, here with me inside the tent. I ate a cold dinner. I moved with a painstaking slowness, making sure my clothes didn't rustle, that my pack didn't shift. I haven't made an intentional sound for 6 hours. I am trying to become a part of the silence it seems to worship. I am holding my breath. I am a stone. I am nothing. The entity does not like it. The silence is making it frantic. It's like a child throwing a tantrum. For the last hour, it has been throwing everything it has at me. It's a cacophony, a soundstorm. It's playing a chaotic, terrifying collage of every sound it's learned. The stellar's jay looping manically, the sterile coyote howls layered on top of each other, the zipper from my tent zipping and unzipping over and over, my own cough, my terrified whispers, Sarah's laugh twisted and distorted, interwoven with my own name being called for help. It's a desperate, horrifying auditory assault. It's not trying to lure me anymore. It's trying to provoke me. It's trying to get me to scream, to make a noise, to give it something new to lock onto. It needs a response. It's starving. I will not give it one. I am zipped inside my tent, my sleeping bag pulled up to my eyes. I am frozen. I will not make a sound. A long pause. Alex's breathing hitches. Wait, there's something new. Over the din. It's quiet, but it's there. A sound it hasn't made before. It's not a mimic. I think it's the thing itself. It's the soft, heavy sound of something dragging through the pine needles. A rhythmic shh, shh, shh. It's circling my tent, just beyond the thin nylon walls. For the first time, I know with chilling certainty that it has a physical form, and it's right outside, listening for me in the dark. Audio log 13. Date 10/18/23. Time 02:47. Alex's breathing is harsh and loud in the confines of the tent. The chaotic noise outside has stopped. Silence. The soundstorm has ceased. For the last 10 minutes, there has been nothing. Not the wind, not the crickets. The dragging sound is gone. It's the perfect, profound silence from the first night, but it's not peaceful now. It's the silence of a predator holding its breath before the strike. It's the most terrifying sound I have ever heard. It's waiting. It's setting the stage for its final performance. I know something is coming. A moment passes, then a new sound begins. It is not faint or distorted. It is high fidelity, crystal clear, and seems to be coming from just outside the tent. Sarah's voice. Alex! Oh God, Alex, help me! Ah! It's a perfect studio-quality replica of Sarah's voice, screaming his name in pure, unadulterated terror, a scream that is cut off by a wet, tearing sound. It's immediately followed by a perfect replica of Alex's own scream, howling in absolute agony. It's the masterstroke, the checkmate, a calculated, devastating blow designed to bypass every wall of logic and trigger the most primal protective instinct a human being possesses. My mind knows it's a trick. My brain is screaming, it's a lure, stay put. But my body doesn't care. My heart is a frantic drum. Adrenaline is acid in my veins. The sound of her scream, his own scream, it's a physical blow. The choice is agonizing. Stay silent, stay safe, and live with the sound of that scream for the rest of my life, the sound of me failing her, or break my silence, burst out of this tent, and reveal my exact location to the physical thing that is hunting me in the dark. There's a third option, a desperate, insane gamble. Not silence, not a shout. A different kind of sound. My knowledge of audio is my only weapon. Predators, especially specialized ones, are often startled by the unfamiliar, the unnatural. I can't out-scream it, I can't out-mimic it, but I can be alien. Sounds of frantic but controlled rustling inside the tent, a metallic clatter. Instead of running out, I stay inside. Instead of shouting her name, I grab the heaviest aluminum pot from my cook set and my steel microphone stand. I take a deep breath, and with all the strength in my body, I don't scream. I don't make a human sound. I bang them together. The recording is overwhelmed by a deafening, rhythmic, purely atonal clang, 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 clang. It is a hideous, industrial, metallic noise, a sound that has no place in nature, a sound of pure, unmimicable chaos. Alex doesn't stop. He keeps banging the pot and the stand together, creating a shield of alien noise.
Audio log 14. Date 10/18/23. Time 05:30. The metallic clanging has stopped. Alex is breathing in huge, shuddering gasps. The first birds of dawn are beginning to sing in the background. It worked. The response was immediate. The moment I started the banging, there was a sound from the darkness, a sound like a massive, startled exhalation of air, a huge whoosh, like from a giant bellows. It was followed by the rapid, frantic thrashing of heavy undergrowth moving away from my campsite at an incredible speed. And then, silence. A true, natural silence. The mimicry stopped completely. The feeling of being watched, of being hunted, vanished like a switch had been flipped. I sat there in the dark for hours, shaking, listening. It's gone. I think I scared it off. I think I made a sound it didn't understand, a sound it couldn't process or replicate, a sound it feared. I'm not waiting to find out if it will come back. The second the first hint of gray appeared over the eastern ridge, I started packing, frantic, terrified. I'm grabbing only the essentials: the recorder, the tapes, my water filter, and a few bars. The tent, the sleeping bag, the rest of my gear, it can all rot here. It's a small price to pay. The sun is rising now, painting the peaks in soft shades of orange and pink. It's beautiful, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Every snap of a twig, every normal bird call sends a jolt of pure terror through me. Is it real, or is it the mimic waiting? Audio log 15. Date 10/18/23. Time 11:45. Sound of labored breathing, the crunch of boots on a gravel parking lot, the beep of a car door unlocking. I'm here. I made it. I'm at the trailhead. My car, my beautiful, metal, safe car. I never stopped moving. I practically ran the 8 miles back. I didn't look back, not once. This is my final log from this place. I have the recordings. I have the proof. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have it. I just want to go home. I just want to hear traffic and sirens and people talking. I never want to hear silence again. Sound of a car door opening, Alex getting in, the door slams shut, sealing him inside. A deep, trembling sigh of relief. The key goes into the ignition. Epilogue. Narrated by Alex, months later. His voice is steady but weary. The background is filled with the low hum of city life. I never went back to the wilderness. I sold all of my equipment, the mics, the recorders, everything. The silence I once dedicated my life to capturing now terrifies me. I live in the city, and I need the noise. I need the constant, chaotic, overlapping sounds of humanity to feel safe. For weeks after I returned,
I was haunted, wondering if I had imagined the whole thing, a product of altitude and isolation-induced psychosis. But the recordings prove otherwise. They are real. The entity is real. I've shared this story with a few colleagues. They call it the Vance account. Most think I'm crazy. A few, the ones who truly understand sound, are terrified. They ask me what I think the creature was. I don't know. An ancient thing left over from a quieter world. A world where sound was a tool for survival in a way we can no longer comprehend. I don't know what it looks like or what it wanted, but I know it's still out there, in the deep, quiet places of the world, listening. And it is learning. I want to play you the very last thing I recorded that day. It's the reason I can't sleep in a quiet house. It's the reason I know we are never truly safe from what we don't understand. This is the last 30 seconds from audio log 15. Listen closely. The final recording plays. The sound of Alex's car door slamming shut. A moment of silence. The sound of his car engine turning over, catching, and settling into a low idle. Then, just as the sound of the engine seems stable, a new sound emerges from the recording's background, faint and distant, but perfectly clear. It is the perfect, sterile mimicry of a car engine starting, echoing back from the silent woods.